Somebody needs attention, don't they, Fuzznuts?
Gnosis is found wherever Sophia walks and is not dependent upon any school of thought.
It's where sexual energy is deposited within ourselves. It's where our vitality, our creative energy is there.
Mind, body, and spirit, what we call today the three major divisions of philosophical thinking. Right. Basically, what this is depicting is the person who has self-realization unifies his body, mind, and spirit in such a way that he or she can ascend through the various dimensions of psychic exploration, spiritual creativity, and even in the worlds of science and knowledge as depicted in the book, understand astronomy and cosmology of other worlds we would call today parallel evolution. Right. You can be Christed if you find the feminine. If you do not find the feminine within you, you can be tormented by a judgmental God or a system of belief that suppresses the inner psyche.
Greetings, fellow worker slaves, podcasting at 128 kilobits from the Fortress of Squalitude. This is the Atheist in the Trailer Park podcast. I'm your host, Tucker. Professor Fuzznuts is in my arms, demanding attention. Ash is in my room along with the other cat. Yes, it's a podcast hosted by a guy and his cats. Get over it. And this is a Pistis Sophia episode where Skullbeard and I try to make sense of a rambling, incoherent, ancient religious document that represents a sect of Christianity which, I'm just going to go right out and say it, deservedly died out because of how shitty the writing was. This thing is nowhere near as entertaining or as good as something like the Gospel of Thomas. Hopefully we won't be going at this thing too much longer, but you never know. Or maybe it'll get better. I doubt. Alright, so, last week I put in 44 and a half hours at work, roughly, and I'm still having trouble sleeping, which is part of the reason why this thing is late. I got off work Friday morning, went home. I shouldn't say Friday morning, because it was basically Friday afternoon when I got off work. And I slept for 13 fucking hours, waking up at like 2 in the morning on Saturday. Yeah, that leads to a productive time. I bought some blackout curtains for my bedroom, hoping that would help, and put them up and discovered they don't really black things out. The room is darker than it has been, but it's still not nighttime dark. It's more of dusk or dawn, which sucks. And even wearing the sleeping mask doesn't help. Get a few hours of sleep, and then I wake back up, and I'm wired. And I need to get to bed, because I know that I'm going to probably have to put in another 12-hour days. But, no. If you can't sleep, you can't sleep. There's not a hell of a lot you can do about it. Except for give Fuzznuts some nervins, because he is so upset. He doesn't get to spend as much time with his daddy anymore, does he? No. I'm gone most of the time, and I have to keep him locked out of my room because of that cat rescued, which I still do not know the gender of the cat. It's still pretty freaked out around me. It's gotten, I think, a little braver. The other day, when I was laying there in bed and not able to get to sleep, I noticed it's peeping its head over the side of the bed to look at me a couple of times. I don't know if it was looking at me or looking at Ash, trying to figure out if it was safe to go get food or use a litter box or what. But it's, I hope that the thing will come to trust me soon. Let's see, I had one cat that I rescued that it took it like 3 weeks before it, relaxed and said, hey, maybe this big hairless ape isn't so bad after all. We'll just have to see how it goes. I have no idea how I would be able to get the thing out of the house, though, if it decides it never likes all poor Fuzz. No, he's a good boy. Now, one thing happened at work this week that I want to talk about before we get to Skullbeard and I reading from the Pistis Sophia, because I'm not sure what to make of it. Maybe some of you out there have some answers. They not hired, of course, but they brought in a couple of temps in my department the past few weeks. There was 2 black guys and a white woman. the white woman, she's 40 years old, looks like she's 25. It's a very engaging personality. But she has said things which, I'm not going to call them racist, but if she had used racist words while she was saying those things, it would not have seemed out of place in the comments that she was making. We have a radio in our department that we listen to, and one of the guys on second shift, it's his radio, he brought it, so when he's there, we listen to what he wants to listen to. And that's rap music. Now, the radio station that he chooses to listen to is probably the shittiest rap radio station in town. One of the things that they do that drives me absolutely batshit is they pick a song once a month and then play that song every 30 minutes. Literally. I've timed them. And they have, their selection of music is all really narrow as far as style and things like that. So you don't get, everything. Basically, if you tuned into a station on Pandora that was nothing but Drake cover artists, you'd have an idea of what this radio station is like. It's terrible, and I don't know why this guy likes to listen to it. I mean, if you're going to listen to rap, listen to something that plays a lot of different artists, not just the same, like 4 or however many they play that, and pick ones that sound different from one another. These all could be the same tracks, these all could be tracks on the same album. They're so similar sounding. But whatever, he's there for a couple hours after I get there, and then he leaves, and I can switch the station to whatever I want. I usually tune it to the top 40 station just simply because that's a little more interesting. I'd rather hear stuff I haven't heard before, or stuff that I haven't heard for 30 fucking years, or 40 years, or 50 fucking years, like you get when you turn on the classic rock radio station, which some of the other guys like to hear. Now, so anyways, the woman that we had in the department, she was complaining about the radio station after this guy had left, and was talking about how much she hated rap. And I mean, it was this long, vituperative argument about how much she hated rap music. And it's like, really, all you had to say was you didn't like it. I can understand why you don't like a certain genre of music. I don't like country music, but I'm not nearly as vituperative, or even remotely as vituperative about rap music, or about country music, as she was about rap. And I was like, that's really weird. So anyway, she's working with these 2 black guys, and for reasons known only to themselves, management pulls one black guy out of our department, sends him to another one. I don't know why. We could use the help. That other department, the folks in it are complaining they've got too many people already. So whatever. And now this lady has complained to me that the black guy who's left had been hitting on her. Now, and she has said that. She said that like his first day, and I kind of debated about what to do about it. But she's had comments made to her by some of the guys on second shift who are white, and she's handled them rather well, as in, smacking them down. So I kind of assumed that if she really thought it was an issue, she would take it to management. So Wednesday night, we're working, and it's me, her, and the one black guy in the department who's also a temp, and they're having a conversation. They're in the other end of this room that we work in, and the rooms have concrete walls, so everything echoes. It's really hard to make anything out. They're having some kind of conversation. I don't hear the details of it. At some point, she's saying, she's laughing about something and telling him, this is why you don't say, you don't go say my name during sex, because the person doesn't know your name, or something along those lines. Like I said, I didn't hear all the details, and I really wasn't paying all that much attention. I was trying to get my work done. And then I hear her complain rather loudly that the guy had wiped blood on her. Now, before that sounds terrible, I'm not saying it's good, but remember, we work with raw meat, so there is a lot of animal blood there, and that's apparently what he was rubbing on her. How he was rubbing on her and where he was rubbing it on her, I don't know. But I did hear her complain about this. And the conversation, at least as far as my memory goes, which is fallible, was, they were appearing to joke and have a good time, and then she hollered because he wiped blood on her. And she, walked past me. I assumed it was to go clean herself up, and asked me if I had seen it. And I said, no, I didn't, but I did hear her talking about it. And then she left and came back for a bit. And then the lead came in and pulled her out of the room. And she was gone for a long period of time. And the temp looks at me after she walked off the first time and says, well, I guess I made her mad. I'm like, okay, I don't know. I don't really know what was going on. And then a little while later, the lead comes in and calls me. So I go out, and he says, you got to go to the office and talk to the supervisor. So I go to the office, talk to the supervisor. Turned out that she had complained to this guy about what she'd complained to the supervisor about what Temp had done to her. And supervisor wanted to know what I knew about it. And I told him everything. And I explained to him, I says, aside from this, I don't think the guy's going to work out. He doesn't show any initiative. He doesn't seem to take the job very seriously. He if you say, okay, man, I need you to do this, this, and this, he'll do the first thing. And then he'll just stand there, and when you look at him, he'll go, oh, do you want me to do the other thing now? Well, yes, that's what you're supposed to do. When somebody tells you to do this, this, and this, when you finish up the first thing, you go on to the second thing. And he's been there 2-3 weeks now, so he has a rough idea of what we do. I wouldn't expect him to know exactly what to do, but I would expect him to have a general idea of what comes next in the process if he hasn't been told. So, when we come back from lunch, we always clean up. So he should know that when we get back from lunch to start cleaning up. He may not know the right spot to start in. He may not realize what things need to be done as far as cleaning goes, but he should know that we need to start cleaning up. And so, I explain things to the supervisor, and then I go back to work. And me and the temp worked for a while, and he asked me what happened. I said it's stupid bullshit, because I was not about to get into a discussion over, what had happened. Then, eventually they call him to the office, and I never see him again. They've obviously gotten rid of him, which, based on his work performance alone, I'm not upset about. And, the things that she had complained about, certainly understandable. What bothers me, however, is based on her comments about rap and how much she hated it. I'm not sure if the issue was the fact that he wiped blood on her or if he was black. See, I mean, obviously, everyone has a right not to be smeared with animal blood if they don't want it. And he may have, touched her inappropriately when he did it. I don't know. But I have a feeling that if I or any of the white guys in the department had done that, the reaction wouldn't be the same. That she would have either, made a rather cutting remark or laughed it off. But because the guy who did it was black, she didn't like it. I could be wrong, but there's, there was just something about that comments that she had made with rap music that makes me think she's probably, racist on some level. And she may be one of these people, oh no, I don't have a problem with blacks. I just don't think blacks and whites should date one another. Or, that I don't, something along those lines where it's not really seen as racism, but it actually is by most white people. I don't know. They've moved her out of my department, and they've moved her into the department where they put the other black guy. So I don't know how that's going to work. Because, like I said, those people in that department are complaining, they don't need so many folks. So we'll just have to see. They have replaced her with a guy. They did it Thursday night with a guy who he seems all right. He eager to work, everything like that. I don't know if he'll show up tonight. That's one of the problems with this job and having temps is you never know if they're going to come back. But if he does, he'll be a good worker. So there is that. But like I said, I just don't, just the things that she said when she went off about rap music made me think that, her issue is not that somebody rubbed blood on her, but it was the fact that it was a black guy doing it. And again, I admit I could be wrong. So I don't know. And I'm not saying he should be allowed to keep his job because of this. As I said, in other areas, he demonstrated that he's not cut out for this kind of work. Or at least he's not interested in doing this kind of work. All right, look at me blathering on. It took me way longer to talk about this than I thought it would. So I'm just going to wrap this up here. If you have any thoughts, email me or message me on Facebook or Twitter. And now, let's get to Skullbeard and I with more of the Pistis Sophia. There is some bondage-type references in this episode, so you have that to look forward to.
And Jesus continued again in the discourse and said unto his disciples, It came to pass then, drink, when Pistis Sophia had said these words, that the time was fulfilled, that she should be led out of the chaos, and of myself without the first mystery I dispatched out of myself a light power, and I set it down to the chaos, so that it might lead Pistis Sophia forth from the deep regions of the chaos, and lead her to the higher regions of the chaos, until the command shall come from the first mystery that she should be led entirely forth out of the chaos, and my light power led Pistis Sophia up to the higher regions of the chaos. It came to pass then, drink, when the emanations of self-willed had noticed that Pistis Sophia was led forth into the higher regions of the chaos, that they also sped after her upwards, desiring to bring her again into the lower regions of the chaos. And my light power, which I had sent to lead up Sophia out of the chaos, shone exceedingly. It came to pass then, drink, when the emanations of self-willed pursued Sophia, when she had been led into the higher regions of the chaos, that she again sang praises and cried out unto me, saying,
I will sing praises unto thee, O light, for I desired to come unto thee. I will sing thee praises, O light, for thou art my deliverer. Let me not in the chaos save me, O light of the height, for it is thou that I have praised. Thou hast sent me thy light through thyself, and hast saved me. Thou hast led me to the higher regions of the chaos.
May the emanations of self-willed which pursue me sink down into the lower regions of the chaos, and let them not come to the higher regions to see me. And may great darkness cover them, and darker gloom come over them. And let them not see me in the light of thy power, which thou hast sent unto me to save me, so that they may not again get dominion over me. And let not their resolution, which they have formed, to take away my power, take effect for them. And as they have spoken against me, to take from me my light, and as they have spoken against me, to take from me my light, take rather from them theirs instead of mine.
They English good.
Oh, they English best. Be best.
And they have proposed to take away my whole light, and have now been able to take it, for thy light power was with me. Because they have taken counsel without thy commandment, O light, therefore have they not been able to take away my light. Because I have had faith in the light, I shall not be afraid, and the light is my deliverer, and I shall not fear. Now therefore let him whose power is exalted speak the solution of the words which Pistis Sophia hath uttered.
And it came to pass, drink, when Jesus had finished speaking these words unto his disciples, that Salome came forward and said, My Lord, my power constraineth me to speak the solution of the words which Pistis Sophia hath uttered. Thy power hath prophesied aforetime through Solomon, saying, I will give thanks unto thee, O Lord, for thou art my God. Abandon me not, O Lord, for thou art my hope. Thou hast given me thy vindication for naught, and I am saved through thee.
Let them who pursue me fall down, and let them not see me. May a smoke cloud cover their eyes, and an air mist darken them. And let them not see the day, so that they may not seize me. May their resolution be impotent, and may what they concoct come upon them.
They have devised a resolution, and it hath not taken effect for them. And they are vanquished, though they be mighty, and what they have wickedly prepared is fallen upon them. My Lord, my hope is in the Lord, and I shall not be afraid, for thou art my God, O my Savior. It came to pass then, drink. When Salome had finished saying these words, that Jesus said unto her, Well said, Salome, and finally, this is the solution of the words which Pistis Sophia hath uttered.
So, if he can see what all the fuck's happening with her, why the hell doesn't he just, VoIP her up to, seventh heaven or wherever?
Instead of all this traveling through the chaos and the lower chaos and the middle chaos and the upper chaos and the redundancy and the repetitiveness and the redundancy thereof.
Yeah,
yeah, it's your guess is as good as mine.
And Jesus continued again in the discourse and said unto his disciples, More shit, guys. It came to pass, then, drink, when Pistis Sophia had finished saying these words in the chaos, that I made the light power, which I had sent to save her, become a light wreath on her head, so a halo, so that from now on the emanations of self-willed could not have dominion over her. And when it had become a light wreath around her head, all the evil matters in her were shaken, and all were purified in her. They perished and remained in the chaos, while the emanations of self-willed gazed upon them and rejoiced. And the purification of the pure light which was in Pistis Sophia gave power to the light of my light power, which had become a wreath around her head.
Oh, you stopped there. Okay.
Yeah.
It came to pass then, drink. Moreover, when it surrounded the pure light in Sophia, and her pure light did not depart from the wreath of the power of the light flame, so that the emanations of self-will would not rob it from it. When then this befell her, the pure light power in Sophia began to sing praises, and she praised my light power, which was wreathed round her head, and she sang praises, saying,
The light hath become a wreath around my head, and I shall not depart from it, so that the emanations of self-willed may not rob it from me. And though all the matters be shaken, yet shall I not be shaken, nor stirred. And though all my matters perish and remain in the chaos, those which the emanations of self-willed see, yet shall I not perish.
For the light is with me, and I myself am with the light. These words then Pistis Sophia uttered. Now therefore, let him who understandeth the thought of these words come forward and proclaim their solution. Then Mary, the mother of Jesus, came forward and said, My son, according to the world, my God and Savior, according to the height, bid me proclaim the solution of the words which Pistis Sophia hath uttered. And Jesus answered and said, Thou also, Mary, hast received form which is in Barbello, according to matter, and hast received likeness which is in the Virgin of Light, according to light, thou and the other Mary, the Blessed One, and on thy account the darkness hath arisen, and moreover out of thee did come forth the material body in which I am, which I have purified and refined. Now therefore I bid thee proclaim the solution of the words which Pistis Sophia hath uttered. And Mary, the mother of Jesus, answered and said, My Lord, thy light power hath prophesied aforetime concerning these words through Solomon in the 19th ode, and said,
Fuck you.
And the horse he rode in on.
Yeah. The Lord is on my head as a wreath, and I shall not depart from him. The wreath in truth is woven for me, and it hath caused thy twigs to sprout in me. For it is not like unto a wreath withered that sprouteth not, but thou art alive on my head, and thou hast sprouted upon me. Thy fruits are full and perfect, filled with thy salvation. It came to pass then, drink, when Jesus had heard his mother, Mary, say these words, that he said unto her, Well said, finally, Amen, Amen. I say unto thee, they shall proclaim thee blessed from one end of the earth to the other, for the pledge of the first mystery hath taken up its abode with thee, and through that pledge shall all from the earth and all from the height be saved, and that pledge is the beginning and the end. This is awfully narcissistic.
It's terrible. Ay vey. And Jesus continued again in the discourse and said unto his disciples, It came to pass, drink, when Pistis Sophia had uttered the 13th repentance, in that hour was fulfilled the commandment of all the tribulations which were decreed for Pistis Sophia for the fulfillment of the first mystery, which was from the beginning, and the time had come to save her out of the chaos and lead her out from all the darkness. For her repentance was accepted from her through the first mystery, and that mystery sent me a great light power out of the height, that I might help Pistis Sophia and lead her up out of the chaos. So I looked towards the aeons into the height and saw that light power from which the first mystery had sent me, and I might save Pistis Sophia out of the chaos. It came to pass, drink, therefore, when I had seen it, coming forth from the aeons and hastening down to me, I was above the chaos, that another light power went forth out of me, that it too might help Pistis Sophia. And the light power which had come from the height through the first mystery came down upon the light power which had gone out of me, and they met together and became a great stream of light. And then the acid started to peak.
Yeah.
These guys are tripping balls, man.
Yeah. When then Jesus had said this unto his disciples, he said, Understand ye in what matter I discourse with you? No. Mary started forward again and said, My Lord, I understand what thou sayest. Concerning the solution of this word, thy light power hath prophesied aforetime through David in the 84th Psalm, saying, Grace and truth met together, and righteousness and peace kissed each other. Wow, wow. Truth sprouted forth out of the earth, and righteousness looked down from heaven. Grace, then, is the light power which hath come down through the first mystery, for the first mystery hath hearkened unto Pistis Sophia, and hath had mercy on her in all her tribulations. Truth, on the other hand, is the power which hath gone forth out of thee, for that thou hast fulfilled the truth in order to save her out of the chaos. And righteousness again is the power which hath come forth through the first mystery, which will guide Pistis Sophia, and peace again is the power which hath gone forth out of thee, so that it should enter into the emanations of self-willed, and take from them the lights which they have taken away from Pistis Sophia, that is, so that thou mayest gather them together into Pistis Sophia and make them at peace with her power. Truth, on the other hand, is the power which went forth out of thee when thou wast in the lower regions of the chaos. For this cause thy power hath said through David, Truth sprouted out of the earth, because thou wert in the lower regions of the chaos. Righteousness, on the other hand, which hath looked down from heaven, it is the power which hath come down from the height through the first mystery, and hath entered into Pistis Sophia.
Woof.
Yeah.
It came to pass then, drink, when Jesus had heard these words, that he said, Well said, Mary, blessed one, thou shalt inherit the whole light kingdom. Oh, okay. Thereon, Mary, the mother of Jesus, also came forward and said, My Lord and my Savior, give commandment unto me that also that I repeat this word. Jesus said, Whose spirit is understanding? Him I do not prevent, but I urge him on still more to speak the thought which hath moved him. Now therefore, Mary, my mother, according to matter, thou in whom I have sojourned, I bid thee that thou also speak the thought of the discourse.
And Mary answered and said, My Lord, concerning the word which thy power hath prophesied through David, grace and truth met together, righteousness and peace kissed each other. Wow, wow. Truth sprouted forth out of the earth. I bet it did. And righteousness looked down from heaven. Aha! Thus hath thy power prophesied this word aforetime about thee. Oh, boy.
Well, I'll take it.
Okay.
When thou wert little, before the Spirit had come upon thee, whilst thou wert in a vineyard with Joseph, the Spirit came out of the height, and came to me in my house, like unto thee, and I had not known him, but I thought that thou wast he. And the Spirit said unto me, Where is Jesus, my brother, that I meet with him? And when he had said this unto me, I was at a loss, and thought it was a phantom to try me. So I seized him, and bound him to the foot of the bed in my house, until I went forth to you, to thee and Joseph in the field, and I found you on the vineyard, Joseph propping up the vineyard. It came to pass, drink, therefore, when thou didst hear me speak the word unto Joseph, that thou didst understand the word, wert joyful, and saidst, Where is he, that I may see him? Else I await him in this place. And it came to pass, drink. Man, liver failure imminent. Mm-hmm. When Joseph had heard thee say these words, that he was startled, and we went down, together, entered the house, and found the Spirit bound to the bed. And we looked on thee and him, and found thee like unto him, and he who was bound to the bed was unloosed. He took thee in his arms and kissed thee, and craptastic, and thou also didst kiss him. Ye became one. Okay, this is really starting to sound like a bad, like really bad Christian porn.
50 Shades of Jesus.
Oh, Jesus. Yes, something like that.
And the other thing that I noticed, let me see if I can, where is it? Where she says, when thou wert little, before the Spirit had come upon thee. Ignoring the sexual connotations about that, but this seems to take the heretical view that Jesus was a mortal person before the Spirit came down into him.
So wasn't he born divine?
This seems to indicate that he was not.
Okay. Interesting.
Yeah. I forget what the name of this heresy is called. There's so much weird shit that I cannot keep track of it.
Yeah.
This, then, is the word and its solution. Grace is the Spirit which hath come down out of the height through the first mystery. For it hath had mercy on the race of men, and sent its Spirit, that he should forgive the sins of the whole world, and that they should receive the mysteries and inherit the light kingdom. Truth, on the other hand, is the power which hath sojourned with me, when it had come forth out of Barbello. It became the material body for thee, and hath made proclamation concerning the region of truth. Righteousness is thy Spirit, who hath brought the mysteries out of the height to give them to the race of men. Peace, on the other hand, is the power which hath sojourned in thy material body according to the world, which hath baptized the race of men. Yeah, that's what we've been baptized in, peace, until it should make it stronger unto sin, and make it at peace with thy Spirit, so that they may be at peace with the emanations of the light, that is, grace and truth kissed each other. As it saith, truth sprouted forth out of the earth. Truth is thy material body, which sprouted forth out of me, according to the world of men, and hath made proclamation concerning the region of the truth. And again, as it saith, righteousness looked down from heaven. Righteousness is the power which looked out of the height, which will give the mysteries of the light to the race of men, so that they will become righteous and good and inherit the light kingdom. And it seems to indicate that this does not believe that she was raped by the Holy Spirit, because it says, your material body sprouted forth out of me according to the world of men. So that seems like it's the normal bow chicka wow wow.
Yeah, so Joseph wasn't a cuck. Okay.
Yeah. It came to pass then, drink, when Jesus had heard these words which his mother Mary spake, that he said, well said, finally, Mary. But no multiple amens.
The other Mary came forward and said, my Lord, bear with me, and be not wroth with me. Yea, from the moment when thy mother spake with thee concerning the solution of these words, my power disquieted me to come forward, and likewise to speak the solution of these words. Jesus said unto her, I bid thee speak their solution. Mary said, my Lord, grace and truth met together. Grace, then, is the Spirit who hath of the spiritual and material body of Jesus come upon thee when thou didst receive the baptism from John. Grace, then, is the godly Spirit which hath come upon thee. He hath had mercy on the race of men, hath come down, and hath met with the power of Sabaoth, the good, which is in thee, and which hath made proclamation concerning the regions of the truth. It hath said again, righteousness and peace kissed each other. Righteousness, then, is the spirit of the light, which did come upon thee. It seems pretty kinky, actually. And hath brought them... Actually, it sounds more like bukkake, but whatever. And hath brought the mysteries of the height to give them unto the race of men. Peace, on the other hand, is the power of Sabaoth the good, which is in thee. He who hath baptized and hath forgiven the race of men, and it hath made them at peace with the sons of the light. And moreover, as thy power hath said through David, truth sprouted forth out of the earth. That is, the power of Sabaoth the good, which sprouted forth out of Mary, thy mother, the dweller on earth. Yawn. Righteousness, which looked down from heaven, on the other hand, is the Spirit in the height, who hath brought all mysteries of the height and given them to the race of men, and they have become righteous and good, and have inherited the light kingdom.
And it came to pass, drink. My liver said, fuck you, I'm out of here. When Jesus had heard Mary speak these words, that he said, well said, Mary, inheritress of the light. And Mary, the mother of Jesus, again came forward. Now, who is this other Mary? We've got Mother Mary. Is this but there's a third Mary in biblical texts.
Proud Mary?
No, I can't remember what her name is, but there's a third Mary. She's not talked of a lot for some reason.
I wonder why.
Yeah. And Mary, the mother of Jesus, came, and Mary, the mother of Jesus, again came forward, fell down at his feet, kissed them, and said, my Lord, my Son, and my Savior, be not wroth with me, but pardon me, that I may once more speak the solution of these words. Grace and truth met together. It is I, Mary. Oh, fuck me. Thy mother, and Elizabeth, mother of John, whom I have met. Grace, then, is the power of Sabaoth in me, which went forth out of me, which thou art. Thou hast had mercy on the whole race of men. Truth, on the other hand, is the power in Elizabeth, which is John, who did come and hath made proclamation concerning the way of truth, which thou art, who hath made proclamation before thee. And again, grace and truth met together, that it is thou, my Lord, thou who didst meet John on the day when thou hadst to thou hadst to receive the baptism. And again, thou and John are righteousness and peace kissed each other. Truth hath sprouted out of the earth, and righteousness looked down from heaven. This is during the time when thou didst minister unto thyself. Thou didst have the form of Gabriel. Thou didst look down upon me from heaven and speak with me. And when thou hadst spoken with me, thou didst sprout up in me. That is the truth. That is the power of Sabaoth, the good, which is thy material body, that it is the truth which sprouted up out of the earth. It came to pass, drink then, when Jesus had heard his mother, Mary, speak these words, that he said, well and finely said. This is the solution of all the words concerning which my light power hath prophesied aforetime through the prophet David.
Are we going to read the note from a scribe?
Well, why not?
Now these are the names which I will give from the boundless onward. Write them with a sign, that the sons of God may be revealed from here on. This is the name of the immortal. And this is the name of the voice, for the sake of which it was literally 3 A's in a row and 3 O's with accents. And this is the name of the voice, for the sake of which the perfect man hath set himself in motion. I! Literally 3 I's in a row. And these are the interpretations of the names of these mysteries. The first name, which is its interpretation is the second, which is or ooh, its interpretation is The third, which is its interpretation is ooh. The fourth, which is its interpretation is the fifth, which is its interpretation is He on the throne is This is the interpretation of the second This is the interpretation of the whole name. What the fuck was that?
Somebody was on some good drugs. That's what I say.
These guys are tripping balls.
Yeah, okay. The second book of Pistis Sophia.
Fuck, here we go.
John also came forward and said, O Lord, bid me also speak the solution of the words which thy light power hath prophesied aforetime through David. What the fuck is so important about this shit? And Jesus answered and said unto John, To thee too, John, I give commandment to speak the solution of the words which my light power hath prophesied through David.
Grace and truth met together, and righteousness and peace kissed each other. Kinky. Mm-hmm. Truth hath sprouted forth out of the earth, and righteousness looked down from heaven. And John answered and said, This is the word which thou hast said unto us aforetime. I have come out of the height and entered into Sabaoth the good. I hope he had consent. And embraced the light power in him. Now therefore grace and truth, which met together, thou art grace, thou who art sent out of the regions of the height through the Father, the first mystery, which looketh within, in that he hath sent thee, that thou mayest have mercy on the whole world. Truth, on the other hand, is the power of Sabaoth the good, which bound itself in thee, and which thou hast cast forth to the left, though the first mystery, which looketh without, and the little Sabaoth the good took it and cast it forth into the matter of Barbello, and he made proclamation concerning the regions of truth to all the regions of those on the left, and that matter of Barbello then it is which is body for thee today.
And righteousness and peace which kissed each other. Righteousness then art thou, who didst bring all the mysteries through thy Father, the first mystery which looketh within, and hast baptized this power of Sabaoth the good, and thou didst go to the region of the rulers, and didst give unto them the mysteries of the height. They became righteous and good. Peace, on the other hand, is the power of Sabaoth, that is thy soul, which did enter into the matter of Barbaello, and all the rulers of the 6 aeons of Yabreoth have made peace with the mystery of the light. What the fuck is Yabreoth?
Damn good question. Bello.
Apparently, it's just a name of something. There's like it. Every reference just points back to the Pistis Sophia and doesn't give you a definition. So
Nice.
It's just vaguely something. It just quotes this verse basically.
Huh.
So nobody fucking knows. How nice.
How circular. That's lovely.
Yeah.
And truth which sprouted forth out of the earth, it is the power of Sabaoth the good, which came out of the region of the right, which lieth outside the treasury of the light, and which hath come into the region of those of the left. It hath entered into the matter of Barbello, and hath made proclamation concerning the mysteries of the region of truth. Righteousness, on the other hand, which looked down from heaven, is thou the first mystery, which looketh down without, as thou didst come out of the spaces of the height with the mysteries of the light kingdom, and thou didst come down upon the light vesture, which thou didst receive from the hand of Barbello, which vesture is Jesus, our Savior, in that thou didst come down upon him as a dove. Okay, sure, whatever. It came to pass then, drink, when John had brought forward these words, that the first mystery which looketh without said unto him, well said, John, beloved brother.
Okay. The first mystery again continued and said, it came to pass, drink, therefore, that the power which had come out of the height, that is I, in that my Father sent me to save Pistis Sophia out of the chaos, that I, therefore, and also the power which did go from me, and the soul which I had received from the Sabaoth, the God, or the good, they drew towards one another and became a single light stream. You're not supposed to cross the stream, guys. Which shone very exceedingly. I called down Gabriel and Michael out of the aeons at the command of my Father, the first mystery, which looketh within, and I gave unto them the light stream, and let them go down into the chaos to help Pistis Sophia, and to take the light powers which the emanations of self-willed had taken from them, and give them to Pistis Sophia. Now, this seems to be saying that the first mystery is Jesus, and this Jesus is also God, and is also something else. And he's pissing on everybody.
The Holy Spirit?
Yeah, could be.
Yeah, it's all broken promises and ghost dicks. Then straightway, when they had brought down the light stream into the chaos, it shone most exceedingly in the whole of the chaos, and spread itself over all their regions. And when the emanations of self-willed had seen the great light of that stream, they were terror-stricken one with the other, and that stream drew forth out of them all the light powers which they had taken from Pistis Sophia, and the emanations of self-willed could not dare to lay hold of that light stream in the dark chaos, nor could they lay hold of it with the air of self-willed, who ruleth over the emanations.
And Gabriel and Michael led the light stream over the body of the matter of Pistis Sophia, and poured into her all the light powers which they had taken from her. And the body of her matter became shining throughout. And all the powers also in her, whose light they had taken away, took light and ceased to lack their light. For they got their light which had been taken from them, because the light was given them through me. And Michael and Gabriel, who ministered and had brought the light stream into the chaos, will give them the mysteries of the light. It is they to whom the light stream was entrusted, which I have given unto them and brought into the chaos. And Michael and Gabriel have taken no light for themselves from the lights of Sophia, which they had taken from the emanations of self-willed.
It came to pass then, drink, when the light stream had ingathered into Pistis Sophia all of her light powers, which it had taken from the emanations of self-will, that she became shining throughout, and the light powers also in Pistis Sophia, which the emanations of self-will had not taken, became joyful again and filled themselves with light. And the lights which were poured into Pistis Sophia quickened the body of her matter, in which no light was present, and which was on the point of perishing or perished, and they raised up all her powers, which were on the point of being dissolved, and they took unto themselves a light power, and became again as they were before, and they increased again in their sense of the light. And all the light powers of Sophia knew themselves mutually through the light stream, and were saved through the light of that stream. And my light stream, when it had taken away the lights from the emanations of self-willed, which they had taken away from Pistis Sophia, poured them into Pistis Sophia, and turned itself about, and went up out of the chaos. Yeah. Crazy. I think I saw that in a movie once.
Yeah.
Go ahead. Take it. No, you can have it.
When the first mystery said this to the disciples, that it had befallen Pistis Sophia in the chaos, he answered and said unto them, Understand ye in what matter I discourse with you? No, we don't understand a fucking thing you're saying because you're batshit.
Yeah, it's kind of a mystery, even though they're being rather repetitive and redundant about it. Peter came forward and said, My Lord, concerning the solution of the words which thou hast spoken, thus hath thy light power prophesied aforetime through Solomon in his odes. A stream came forth and became a great wide flood. It tore away all to itself and turned itself against the temple. Dams and buildings could not hold it, nor could the art of them who hold the waters.
It was led over the whole land and laid hold of all. They who were on the dry sand drank, their thirst was quieted and quenched, when the drought from the hand of the highest was given. Blessed are the ministers of that drought, to whom the water of the Lord is entrusted. Now, have you ever read any of Aleister Crowley's writings?
No.
Okay, they are far more coherent than this shit.
They have refreshed parched lips. They whose power was taken away have gotten joy of heart, and they have laid hold of souls, having poured in the breath, so that they should not die. They have raised up limbs which were fallen. They have given power to their openness, and light unto their eyes, for they all have known themselves in the Lord, and are saved through the water of life eternal. Hearken therefore, my Lord, that I may set forth the word in openness. As thy power hath prophesied through Solomon, a stream came forth, and answer a great wide flood. This is, the light stream hath spread itself out in the chaos over all the regions of the emanations of self-willed.
And again the word which thy power hath spoken through Solomon. It tore away all to itself, and it led it over the temple. That is, it drew all the light powers out of the emanations of self-willed, which they had taken from Pistis Sophia, and poured them anew into Pistis Sophia. And again, the word thy power hath spoken. The dams and buildings could not hold it. That is, the emanations of self-willed could not hold the light stream within the walls of the darkness and the chaos.
And again the word which it hath spoken, it was led over the whole land and filled all. That is, when Gabriel and Michael had led it over the body of Pistis Sophia, they poured into her all the lights which the emanations of self-will had taken from her, and the body of her matter shone. And the word which it hath spoken, they who were in the dry sand drank. That is, all in Pistis Sophia, whose light had before been taken away, got light.
And the word which it hath spoken, their thirst was quieted and quenched. That is, her power ceased to lack the light, because their light, which had been taken from them, was given them again. And let me just guess that we're going to go along here in a few minutes, and she's going to get some more light that she had somehow lost.
I'm guessing there will be more found lost light by the end of this chapter. Just a guess.
And again, as thy power hath spoken, the drought through the highest was given them. That is, the light was given unto them through the light stream which came forth out of the first mystery.
Oh, that's a draft, not a drought.
Ah.
Yes.
Stupid English spelling.
Yeah. And as thy power hath spoken, blessed are the ministers of that draught. This is the word which thou hast spoken. Michael and Gabriel, who have ministered, have brought the light stream into the chaos and also let it forth again. They will give them the mysteries of the light of the height, they to whom the light stream is entrusted. And again, as thy power hath spoken, they have refreshed parched lips, that is, Gabriel and Michael have not taken for themselves from the lights of Pistis Sophia, which they had spoiled from the emanations of self-willed, but they have poured them into Pistis Sophia.
And again, the word which it hath spoken. They whose power was taken away have gotten joy of heart. That is, all the other powers of Pistis Sophia, which the emanations of self-willed have not taken, are become exceedingly merry, and have filled themselves with light from their light fellows, for these have poured it into them. And the word which thy power hath spoken, they have quickened souls, having poured in the breath, so that they should not die. That is, when they had poured the lights into Pistis Sophia, they quickened the body of her matter, from which they had before taken its lights, and which was on the point of perishing.
And again the word which thy power hath spoken, they have raised up limbs which were fallen, or that they should not fall. That is, when they poured into her lights, they raised up all her powers which were on the point of being dissolved. And again, as thy light power hath spoken, they have received again their light, and have become as they were before. And again the word which it hath spoken, they have given light unto their eyes. That is, they have received sense in the light, and known the light stream, that it belongeth to the height.
And again the word which it hath spoken, they all have known themselves in the Lord. That is, all the powers of Pistis Sophia have known one another through the light stream. And again the word which it hath spoken, they are saved through the water of life eternal. That is, they are saved through the whole light stream. And again, the word which it hath spoken, the light stream tore all to itself and drew it over the temple. That is, when the light stream had taken all the light powers of Pistis Sophia and had spoiled them from the emanations of self-willed, it poured them into Pistis Sophia, and it turned itself about, and went out into the chaos, and came over thee, thou who art the temple.
This is the solution of all the words which thy light power hath spoken through the Ode of Solomon. It came to pass then, drink, when the first mystery had heard Peter speak these words, that he said unto him, well said, blessed Peter, this is the solution of the words which have been spoken.
Oh, boy.
I'm not convinced. I'm willing to bet there's more solutions to more words.
You think? Oh, Jesus.
Sweet baby Jesus on fire.
I need to refill my glass before we go after any more of this.
Okay. Take a minute. I'm going to go make another cup of tea.
Sounds good.
And the first mystery continued again in the discourse and said, it came to pass, drink. Then, before I had fled forth Pistis Sophia out of the chaos, because it was not yet commanded me through my Father, the first mystery, which looketh within, at that time then, after the emanations of self-will had perceived that my light stream had taken from them the light powers which they had taken from Pistis Sophia, and had poured them into Pistis Sophia, and when they again had seen Pistis Sophia, that she shone as she had done from the beginning, that they were enraged against Pistis Sophia, and cried out again to their self-willed, that he should come and help them, so that they might take away the power of Pistis Sophia anew.
Oh, boy. And self-willed sent out of the height, out of the 13th aeon. This sounds like self-willed is higher above Pistis Sophia, which should not be the case. And sent another great light power. It came down into the chaos, a flying arrow, that he might help his emanations, so that they might take away the lights from Pistis Sophia anew. And when that light power had come down, the emanations of self-willed, which were in the chaos and oppressed Pistis Sophia, took great courage and again pursued Pistis Sophia with great terror and great alarm. And some of the emanations of self-willed oppressed her. One of them changed itself into the form of a great serpent. And another again changed itself also into the form of a 7-headed basilisk. And another again changed itself into the form of a dragon. And moreover, the first power of self-willed, the lion-faced, and all his other very numerous emanations, they came together and oppressed Pistis Sophia and led her again into the lower regions of the chaos and alarmed her again exceedingly.
It came to pass then, drink, that there looked down out of the 12 aeons Adamas the tyrant, who also was wroth with Pistis Sophia, because she desired to go to the light of lights, which was above them all. Therefore was he wroth with her. It came to pass then, drink, when Adamas the tyrant had looked down out of the 12 aeons, and he saw the emanations of self-will depressing Pistis Sophia, until they should take from her all her lights. It came to pass then, drink, when the power of Adamas had come down into the chaos unto all the emanations of self-willed. It came to pass then, drink, when the demon came down into the chaos that had dashed down Pistis Sophia, and the lion-faced power, and the serpent form, and the basilisk form, and the dragon form, and all the other very numerous emanations of self-willed surrounded Pistis Sophia altogether, desiring to take from her anew her powers in her, and they oppressed Pistis Sophia exceedingly and threatened her. It came to pass then, drink. Man, I'm going to be hammered just reading one paragraph. And when they oppressed her and alarmed her exceedingly, that she cried again to the light and sang praises, saying,
O light, it is thou who hast helped me. Let thy light come over me. For thou art my protector, and I come hence unto thee. O light, having faith in thee, O light. For thou art my savior from the emanations of self-willed and of Adamas, the tyrant, and thou shalt save me from all his violent threats.
Aha. Seems to be an awful lot of coming over and stuff.
Yeah.
And when Pistis Sophia had said this, then, at the commandment of my Father, the first mystery which looketh within, I sent again Gabriel and Michael and the great light stream, that they should help Pistis Sophia. And I gave commandment unto Gabriel and Michael to bear Pistis Sophia in their hands, so that her feet should not touch the darkness below. And I gave them commandment, moreover, to guide her in the regions of the chaos, out of which she was to be led.
It came to pass, then, drink, when the angels had come down into the chaos, they and the light stream, and moreover, when all the emanations of self-willed and the emanations of Adamas had seen the light stream, how it shone very exceedingly, and there was no measure for the light about it, that they became terror-stricken and quitted Pistis Sophia, and the great light stream surrounded Pistis Sophia on all sides of her, soaking her like the mattress in a Moscow hotel room, on her left and on her right, and on all her sides, and it became a light wreath around her head. So she's got 2 halos now.
Oh yeah, she earned that halo. It came to pass then, drink, when the light stream had surrounded Pistis Sophia, that she took great courage, and it ceased not to surround her on all her sides, and she was no longer in fear of the emanations of self-willed, which are in the chaos, nor was she any more in fear of the other new power of self-willed, which he had cast down into the chaos as a flaming arrow. Oh, as a flying arrow. I guess it wasn't flaming. Nor did she any more tremble at the demon power of Adamus, which had come out of the eons.
And moreover, by commandment of myself, the first mystery which looketh without, the light stream which surrounded Pistis Sophia on all her sides, shone most exceedingly. And Pistis Sophia abode in the midst of the light, a great light being on her left and on her right, and on all her sides, forming a wreath round her head. And all the emanations of self-willed could not change their face again, nor could they bear the shock of the great light of the stream, which was a wreath around her head. And all the emanations of self-willed, many of them fell at her right, because she shone most exceedingly, and many others fell at her left, and were not able at all to draw nigh unto Pistis Sophia, because of the great light, but they fell all one at another, or they all came near one another, and they could not inflict any ill on Pistis Sophia, because she had trusted in the light.
And at the commandment of my father, the first mystery, which looketh within, I myself went down into the chaos, shining most exceedingly, and approached the lion-faced power, which shone exceedingly, and took its whole light in it, and held fast all the emanations of self-willed, so that from now on they went not into their region, that is the 13th eon, and I took away the power of all the emanations of self-willed, and they all fell down in the chaos powerless. And I led forth Pistis Sophia, she being on the right of Gabriel and Michael, and the great light stream entered again into her. And Pistis Sophia beheld with her eyes her foes, that I had taken their light power from them, and I led Pistis Sophia forth from the chaos, she treading underfoot the serpent-faced emanation of self-willed, and moreover treading underfoot the seven-faced basilisk emanation, and treading underfoot the lion and dragon-faced power. I made Pistis Sophia continue to stand upon the seven-headed basilisk emanation of self-willed, and it was more mighty than them all in its evil doings, and I, the first mystery, stood by it, and took all the powers in it, and made to perish its whole matter, so that no seed should arise from it from now on. So he killed it dead.
Apparently.
Must be Raid.
Yeah. And when the first mystery said this unto his disciples, he answered and said, Understand ye in what manner I discourse with you? James came forward and said, My Lord, you's just fucking with us. You could have bitch slapped this shit out of here a long time ago. God damn it. Why are you fucking with us? No, sadly, that is not what he said. He said, My Lord, concerning then the solution of the words which thou hast said, thou hast thy light power prophesied thereon aforetime through David in the 90th Psalm, which we are now going to inflict upon you, because you probably don't know this shit, even though you do.
Whoso then dwelleth under the help of the Most High will abide under the shadow of the God of heaven. He will say unto the Lord, Thou art my succor, and my place of refuge, my God in whom I trust. For he will save me out of the snare of the hunters, and from mighty word.
Boy.
Tough guy.
Yeah. He will shade thee with his breast, and thou shalt have trust beneath his wings. You are the trust beneath my wings. His truth shall surround thee as a shield. Thou wilt not be afraid of terror by night, nor of an arrow which flieth by day, of a thing which slinketh in the darkness, of a mischance, and a demon at midday.
Those midday demons are the worst. 1,000 will fall on thy left, and 10,000 at thy right hand, but they shall not come nigh thee. Nay, rather with thine eyes wilt thou behold, thou wilt see the requital of the sinners. For thou, O Lord, art my hope. Thou hast established the Most High for thyself as refuge.
Harm will not come nigh unto thee. Scourge will not come nigh thy dwelling. For he will give commandment to his angels on thy behalf, that they guard thee on all thy ways, and bear thee on their hands, that thou mayest never strike with thy foot against a stone.
So no kicking rocks. Got it. Thou wilt stride over the serpent and basilisk, and tread on lion and dragon. Because he hath trusted in me, I will save him. I will overshadow him, because he hath known my name. He will cry unto me, and I shall hearken unto him. I am at his side in his tribulation, and will save him and honor him.
And increase him with many days, and show him my salvation. This, my Lord, is the solution of the words which thou hast said. Hearken, therefore, that I may say it in openness, the word then which thy power hath spoken through David. Whoso then dwelleth under the help of the Most High will abide under the shadow of the God of heaven. That is, when Sophia had trusted in the light, she abode under the light of the light stream, which through thee came out of the height. I guess that's his name for his deck.
That's the best guess I can make, yeah. And the word which thy power hath spoken through David, I will say unto the Lord, thou art my succor and my refuge, my God in whom I trust. It is the word with which Pistis Sophia hath sung praises. Thou art my succor, and I have come unto thee. Kinky. And again the word which thy power hath spoken, my God in whom I trust, thou wilt save me out of the snare of the hunters, and from mighty word. It is what Pistis Sophia hath said. O light, I have faith in thee, for thou wilt save me from the emanations of self-willed, and from those of Adamas the tyrant, and thou wilt save me also from all their mighty threats.
And again, the word which thy power hath spoken through David. He will shade thee with his breast, and thou wilt have trust beneath his wings. That is, Pistis Sophia had been in the light of the light stream, which had come from thee, and hath continued in firm trust in the light, that on her left and that on her right, which are all the wings of the light stream.
And the word which thy light power hath prophesied through David, truth will surround thee as a shield. It is the light of the light stream which hath surrounded Pistis Sophia on all her sides as a shield. And the word which thy powers hath spoken, he will not be afraid of terror by night. That is, Pistis Sophia hath not been afraid of the terrors and alarms into which she had been planted in the chaos, which is the night.
And the word which thy power hath spoken, he will not be afraid of an arrow which flieth by day. That is, Pistis Sophia hath not been afraid of the power which self-willed hath sent last out of all of the height, and which hath come into the chaos as it were a flying arrow. Thy light power therefore hath said, thou wilt not be afraid of an arrow which flieth by day, for that power hath come out of the 13th aeon, it being that which is Lord over the 12 eons, and which giveth light unto all the eons, wherefore hath he, David, said, day.
And again the word which thy power hath spoken, he will not be afraid of a thing which slinketh in the darkness. That is, Sophia hath not been afraid of the lion-faced emanation which caused fear for Pistis Sophia in the chaos, which is the darkness. And the word which thy power hath spoken, he will not be afraid of a mischance and of a demon at midday. That is, Pistis Sophia hath not been afraid of the demon emanations of tyrant Adamas, which hath cast Pistis Sophia to the ground in a great mischance, and which hath come forth out of Adamas, out of the 12th eon. Wherefore then hath thy power said, he will not be afraid of the demon mischance at midday. Midday, because it hath come out of the 12th eon, eons, which is midday. And again, night, because it hath come out of the chaos, which is the night. And because it hath come out of the 12th aeon, which is the midst between both, therefore hath thy light power said midday, because the 12 aeons lie in the midst between the 13th aeon and the chaos. Chaos I'm seeing here is the arrangement of words.
Yeah. And again, the word which thy light power hath spoken through David, 1,000 will fall on his left, and 10,000 at his right hand, but they shall not come nigh him. That is, when the emanations of self-willed, which are exceedingly numerous, could not bear the great light of the light stream, many of them fell on the left hand of Pistis Sophia, and many at her right, and they could not come nigh to her to do her harm. And the word which thy light power hath spoken through David, nay, rather with thine eyes wilt thou behold, and wilt see the requital of sinners, for thou, O Lord, art my hope. That is the word. Pistis Sophia hath with her eyes beheld her foes. That is the emanations of self-willed, who all have fallen on one another. Not only hath she with her eyes beheld this, but thou also thyself, my Lord, the first mystery, hast taken the light power which is in the lion face power, and hast moreover taken the power of all the emanations of self-willed, and moreover thou hast imprisoned them in that chaos, so that from henceforth they have not gone forth to their own region. Therefore then hath Pistis Sophia with her eyes beheld her foes. That is the emanations of self-willed, and all which David hath prophesied concerning Pistis Sophia, saying, Nay, rather, with thine eyes wilt thou behold, and thou wilt see the requital of the sinners. Not only hath she with her eyes beheld how they fall one on another in the chaos, but she hath also seen the requital with which it was requited them, just as the emanations of the self-willed have thought to take away the light of Pistis Sophia from her, so hast thou requited them and repaid them in full, and hast taken the light power in them instead of the lights of Sophia, who hath had faith in the light of the height.
Yeah. And as thy light power hath spoken through David, thou hast established the Most High for thyself as refuge. Harm will not come nigh unto thee. Scourge will not come nigh thy dwelling. That is, when Pistis Sophia had faith in the light and was afflicted, she sang praises unto it, and the emanations of self-willed could not inflict on her any harm, nor could they injure her, nor could they all come nigh her. And the word which thy light power hath spoken through David, he will give commandment to his angels on thy behalf, that they guard thee on all thy ways, and bear thee on their hands, that thou mayest never strike with thy foot against a stone. It is again thy word. Thou hast given commandment to Gabriel and Michael, that they guide Pistis Sophia in all the regions of the chaos until they lead her forth, and that they uplift her on their hands, so that her feet do not touch the darkness beneath, and that, on the other hand, they of the lower darkness do not seize hold of her.
And the word which thy light power hath spoken through David, thou wilt tread on serpent and basilisk, and tread on the lion and the dragon, because he hath trusted in me. I will save him, and I will overshadow him, because he hath known my name. That is the word. When Pistis Sophia was on the point of coming forth out of the chaos, she trod on the emanations of self-willed, and she trod on the serpent-faced ones, and on the basilisk-faced ones, which have 7 heads, and she trod on the lion-faced power, and on the dragon-faced one, because she had faith in the light, is she saved from all of them. This, my Lord, is the solution of the words which thou hast spoken.
It came to pass then, drink, when the first mystery had heard these words, that he said, Well said, James, beloved one. And the first mystery continued again in the discourse, and said unto his disciples, It came to pass, drink, when I had led Pistis Sophia out of the chaos, that she cried out again and said, I am saved out of the chaos, and loosed from the bonds of the darkness. I am come unto thee, O light. For thou wert light on all sides of me, saving me and helping me. And the emanations of self-willed which fought against me, thou hast hindered through thy light. And they could not come nigh me, for thy light was with me, and saved me through thy light stream.
Because in sooth the emanations of self-willed contained me. They took from me my power, and cast me out into the chaos with no light in me. So I became as heavy weighing matter in comparison with them. And thereafter came a light stream unto me through thee, which saved me. It shone on my left and on my right, and surrounded me on all sides of me, so that no part of me was without light. And thou hast covered me with the light of thy stream, and purged from me all my evil matters. And I shall be relieved of all my matters because of thy light.
And it is thy light stream which hath raised me up, and taken from me the emanations of self-willed which constrained me. And I have become sure trusting in thy light, and purified light in thy stream. And the emanations of self-willed which constrained me have withdrawn themselves from me, and I shone in thy great power, for thou savest forever. This is the repentance which Pistis Sophia hath uttered when she came forth out of the chaos, and was freed from the bonds of the chaos. Now therefore, who hath ears to hear, let him hear.
Yeah, okay. That's a good place to kill it. If I
Oh, good, because the next chapter 69 starts off with another drink.
Yeah.
Oy vey.
Yeah, this is brutal, man.
Yeah, and repetitive and redundant and brutal.
Yeah. I had no idea it was going to be like this.
Oh, there's another one I'd like to read after this. It was the Apocalypse. It was one of the Apocalypse books, but it sounded like it was just batshit insane.
Yeah, well.
As apocalypses are wanted.
Yeah, well, we've got a little ways to go here before we can worry about that. Unless some of the shit coming up is short.
Yeah. They don't seem to be lacking words. Coherent words, but not a lack of wordiness.
I don't know. It looks like it may be. I'm just clicking ahead. And looking randomly at different chapters and the lengths. And they, excuse me, they seem to be getting pretty short.
Good.
But I'm just randomly whapping at them. So, it's not consistent, but yeah, it looks like there's, we're not going to hit any of these ones that run for days and days and days. They're all,
yay.
Yeah. All right. Well, I appreciate it. I have got to get me some coffee in my system to put all this crap together.
You working tomorrow?
Yep.
Okay.
So
it's a statutory holiday here, so yay.
What's the holiday there?
Family Day.
Oh.
Yeah.
President's Day was around here, and I don't remember exactly which day. And I guess day shift gets it off, but because it falls on a Monday, I don't get it off, but I will get holiday pay, so I may come out with a really fat paycheck next week.
Nice.
Yeah.
I like those.
Yep. Mm-hmm. All right. Well, I appreciate it, and we'll be in touch.
Absolutely. I'll be here.
Okay.
Every other week, it seems.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
It depends on what my work schedule is. I put in 45 hours in 4 days.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, well, 12-hour days.
Yeah, not so nice, but
yeah,
it looks good on a pay stub.
Yeah. So that's gonna dictate a lot of things, because I pretty much just sleep when I'm not working when I do that.
Yep. I know the feeling.
All right, man. Well, I appreciate it, and we'll talk soon.
No worries. Have a good one.
You too.
That's it for this episode of The Atheist in the Trailer Park Podcast. You can subscribe to the show on iTunes, Stitcher, as well as just about anywhere else podcasts can be found. Many of the episodes are also on YouTube. Follow the show on Twitter. @TParkAtheist is the show's Twitter handle. It's on Facebook at facebook.com/trailerparkatheist.com. If you happen to like the podcast, please rate it on iTunes. If you'd like to support the podcast, there's a donate button on the show notes page. You can support it via Patreon at patreon.com/TNTucker. Thanks for listening.
Say goodnight, Fuzz-Nuts.
All I know is this violates every canon of respectable broadcasting.
Damned cat.